Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Thoughts from the Machine. I'm Bill Gebhardt, founder and executive director here at 10 Dynamics. So in today's episode, we're going to cover all the action from October, including our chart of the month for US natural gas and a lot more. Here we go. As we head into the US election, many financial markets have been on the move. October saw a return of dollar strength pretty much across the board. Most notably, the yen has fallen back to its lowest levels, and the Canadian dollar is now back to within a few points of its lowest levels in the last 20 years. Since dollar strength generally puts downward pressure on dollar-denominated assets, this dynamic could have a ripple effect on commodities and inflation-sensitive sectors as we move forward. We're keeping a close eye on our trend forecasts in those areas. October also surprised many as U.S. interest rates move higher in tandem with dollar strength, and U.S. government long prices are now nearing the lowest level of the year. Gold, as we've discussed here regularly, continues to climb steadily with several months of now consistently higher prices. We also mentioned in a post a couple weeks ago that Bitcoin was starting to look a lot like gold did just before it broke out to new highs. And while Bitcoin is still shy of all-time highs, it's performed well in October. So what does all this have in common? Well, it sure looks like inflation concerns are alive and well. On the commodity side, most markets outside of metals are range-bound or experiencing choppy, high volatility but trendless movements. U.S. natural gas prices, however, were an exception last month, and it's our chart of the month. During October, news coverage was largely agreeing on stronger fundamentals for U.S. nat gas, supported in part by improved demand forecasts, and low prices sure made downside risk look limited. Yet, so far, the market really hasn't listened. Prices declined significantly in October, maintaining moderate downtrend strength in our model, and are now hovering at very low levels. Somewhat surprisingly, we don't see any clear signs of a trend reversal yet in our model, which suggests that the predicted rally in Q4 might not actually materialize. And now for our trend strength by sector. The biggest change on the board this month is what we mentioned at the start: U.S. dollar strength and a complete evaporation of the emerging bullish trends in U.S. government debt instruments that first appeared after the Fed started easing in September. This reversal has definitely caught everyone's attention. Everyone, that is, except U.S. equities, which don't seem to mind, and in October continue to charge ahead with strong uptrend scores across the board. So that begs the question, which financial sector is lying right now? The dollar and U.S. debt markets, which are worried, or U.S. equities, which seem to be saying, nothing to see here, move along? Well, as we've been harping on about a bit here for the last couple months, keep an eye on volatility. It's been very sticky, still tilting towards an uptrend. As we film this, yesterday's earnings-related price action pushed the VIX into a moderate uptrend. Very unusual with the market so close to all-time highs. We think the VIX will be the decider. Any trend in the VIX that emerges, especially just after the election that's probably happening just now, will be a critical indicator for the financial markets for the rest of the year. So that's really it for our October update. Please note, we recently updated our 10dynamics.com website. We added the Chinese domestic futures blog to the insight section. And you can also find the video versions of our blog published as a podcast via our YouTube, Spotify, and Apple podcast feeds. If you're not already receiving the latest updates, please head over to our LinkedIn, YouTube, and Spotify pages to make sure you're subscribed. And as always, if you're a professional investor and you'd like to receive our detailed monthly fact sheets, please contact us at inquiries@10dynamics.com to be added to the distribution list. That's all for this month. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the podcast. Thanks for listening, and see you next time with more Thoughts from the Machine.